Hey guys, coming at you with an overhead view of the piles. Now, today we're asking, what do they feel when they see you? Now, the cards that you're seeing is actually going to be the advice cards at the end of the reading. Okay, so the first card is that flower. I don't know what it's called. The second one is a kind of a pink lavender kind of starburst flower. Then we have a kind of fuchsia and pink rose kind of thing. And then another fuchsia pink. Oh gosh, it's all kind of pink, guys. Come on. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So I'm gonna go in the next frame and just show you. Well, I can't show you the boxes. Okay, so we're just going to the readings. Okay, all right, bye. So part one, if you choose, I'm gonna call it a fluffy flower. Okay, let's just call it the fluffy flower. That dusty rose. You know what it reminds me of? Good God, I've forgotten the name of that tarot deck. No, I haven't. I think it's Work Your Light. It is Work Your Light. And in Work Your Light, there is a card called the Unfolding Rose. And it says it is happening for you and not happening to you. So it's just a reminder that everything that we go through in life, it's a lesson. It's not just coincidence. We're just not breezing through. It's not unimportant. Everything that we're having, everything that we're experiencing, and everything that we've gone through is something that has molded you into becoming, hopefully, the better person that you are today. And I'm sure you are. I'm sure that you are more mature, wiser, more discerning than you may have been 20 years ago, even last year, or even yesterday. Everything is happening for a reason, and Spirit wants you to keep that in mind. So whenever we go through tough times, it always helps to remind ourselves of that and then ask ourselves, what are we meant to learn in this moment? So what I'm getting from this connection, it was maybe a truly powerful experience for you, and maybe in this particular connection, you experienced a lot of growth and maybe even some sort of spiritual awakening where this rose was kind of cracked open. And maybe there were times in this relationship or connection when things were really, really tough. Like really, really tough. And it challenged your health. It challenged your mental health. It challenged your capacity to love. So I'm getting like a truly profound connection from this first part. So as I said before, this card is your advice card. So we're going to log into that later on. But right now we're going to look at what do they feel when they see you. And by see you, as I said before, connect with your energy. See you online, see you in person. Bring your image to mind. This is what they feel. So we're gonna look. We're gonna get some significators for the energy and the energy towards you. We're gonna look at how do they feel, right? How do they feel when they see you. Then we're gonna look at what's happening within them that might be influencing how they feel. Maybe their feelings have moved or shifted over time. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at what's happening in their life that might be amplifying these feelings, because sometimes things not connected to the connection at all might be changing their whole perspective, and so the perspective on you. We're going to get messages from their three self and a message from their spirit guide. That their spirit guide thinks you need to know right now. And then we're going to look at what's going to be their next actions towards you within 1 month of you watching this reading. And then we're going to get advice from spirit for you, okay, which is going to be this. All right, so let's get cracking. All right, so let's see. Let's form the foundation of the reading. And it's early in the morning, so my voice is going to be just a little bit more husky than usual, but you should be able to make out everything that I'm saying, okay? All right, so let's look at their energy generally. This is like default mode. Default mode, this is who they are. And then we're going to look at their energy towards you at this time, and then just go deeper into the reading. So we have here Per Artemis, and Per Artemis is the young boy. It is the energy of the fool. It's the energy of like now awakening into manhood. So if we have to think about that, it would be like the Knight of Wands before the Knight of Wands turns into a player. Right? It is that energy, full of life, full of hope, full of optimism. But sometimes when that energy becomes scattered, then we get Knight of Wands and Knight of Wands in player mode, because Knight of Wands can also mean spiritual explorer, but this is the stage before scattered energy. All right, let's get into this. Sorry about that interruption by my nephew. So maybe there might have been like a lot of people like sticking their nose into you guys' business, or interference, particularly from family members, and maybe male family members or male friends, something like that. Okay. All right, so we have Per Artemis. All right, let's get a significator for their energy generally. Energy generally is going to be this card, and we have the Paladin, and the Paladin is the spiritual warrior, and it doesn't have to be spiritual, but someone could be like chivalry, right? That tradition, but it is someone who is, I don't want to use the word self-righteous, because that's going to have a negative connotation, but it's certainly someone who is driven by their morals, their values, things that they believe in deeply, right? They are the devotee, okay? But they value truth, they value integrity, even if it means giving up their life. So it feels like this is someone who is thinking about giving up their life, and it doesn't mean death, but certainly their way of doing things, the way that they have lived thus far, or maybe even the life that they have created at this time. This is what they are thinking about. Now let's see their energy towards you. Energy specific to you. It is the Fool, and that's why we get that giving up their life. This is someone who wants to start over. They want a fresh start. It's someone who is infused with the same Artemis energy, right? Just I'm not gonna call it naive, but just fresh perspective, fresh energy. I'm just hopeful, and just optimistic, and I feel like there's something about you that brings out the inner child and the playfulness of this person, and that's really something special, because maybe they don't get many opportunities to show that side without criticism, whether it's criticism from others or maybe even criticism from themselves, right? Sometimes they don't allow themselves to just be, right? But somehow you have created a safe space where they can be this boyish or girlish or childlike self, and there's no judgment there. Okay. All right, so let's look at what they feel when they see you. And guys, whilst I'm shuffling, could you guys make sure that you guys are subscribed? And if you are subscribed, make sure that you have all notifications turned on, because I was just checking my stats today, and only 6.5, yeah, it's that specific, only 6.5 of you guys have all notifications turned on and will be notified if I do upload. Okay, so just make sure you have all notifications on, so you're always notified when there's a new video. When they think about you, or when they see you, they feel satisfied. Like there's a sense of ease that they feel when they see you, like right, they can just let out that breath that they've been holding in, that tenseness that's inside. So you're I'm not going to say a stress reliever, but certainly there is ease that they feel in their chest when they see you, like everything is going to be okay. All right, so let's get into this. All right, how do they feel? We're gonna get 8 of these cards, and then we're gonna clarify. They feel scared. Oh my God, what are they afraid of? We're gonna get into this, but it could be that they're afraid of losing you. Oh, I said using you. Um, and maybe they're afraid of using you. Maybe they're afraid of, leading you on, and then at the end of it, they don't have anything to give, especially if they're in another relationship, or they might be at the on the end of the world, and neither of you may have the finances, whatever it is, But they may be afraid of disappointing you. You guys get together, and then um they may betray you, or just disappointing you. So or it could be just the intensity of this connection. We're gonna make sure. What else do we have here? How else do they feel? Well, you got it. You got it. However other else they feel, they're definitely in love. They're in love, so they have romantic feelings for you. So it's real, and it's not just one-sided or um unrequited. What else do they feel? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Right. So they want to hold your hand, but they want to fuck you too. What else do they feel? We have emotionally detached, which is a strange blend, right? Because they're certainly detached. You don't feel scared with regard to somebody that you don't give a fuck about, right? So there we have scared, we have in love, we have lust, and then boom, they slap you with emotionally detached. So it feels like they're on a little emotional roller coaster when they see you. Just like a barrage of emotions. We have escape. So maybe you are their little escape, their little secret. What else? Relieved. And remember I told you, when they see you, there's just this breath that they've been holding and that they just let out. So until they see your face, they just kind of tense. And then from the moment they connect with your energy, it's just peace. We have empathic, so it certainly could be that they think that you are a very compassionate person, but it could be that they feel a deep spiritual bond with you, right? They feel a deep spiritual bond with you, right? What else? And then we also have anxiety. So you're the stress reliever, but maybe you're the cause of stress too. All right. Let's get into this and see what is going on. I'm going to be using this oracle deck, Curiosity. So let's see. Why do they feel the way that they feel? You're going to see why they're scared. Why are they emotionally detached? Let's see what's going on. Oops. We have here expecting. So it could be that they're ready to create a new life. And we did see, per Artemis, we did see the Wise Fool. So they want this fresh start with you. They want to create some with you. For some of you guys, it might be they want to create a family. But this is also the energy of the Empress. Nearly every card we see with the Empress, she is pregnant. She's pregnant with purpose. She's pregnant with ideas, right? About to give birth. She's nurturing. She's loving. So this is how they see you. They see you as the Empress. All right? Whether you're male or female in body, we're just talking about the energy today. Or you don't identify at all. We're just talking about the energy. All right? So let's see. What's a scared card? They're afraid of falling in love, but too late. Too late. Too late. The horse is already bolted from the stable. I don't know what they're trying to do right here. Right? It's too late. Right? So as I was telling you before, they're afraid of the intensity of this connection and everything that comes with it, not wanting to use you, not wanting to disappoint you, not wanting to hurt you. And they do think that they are capable of these things because maybe that's who they were in the past. Okay, so why are they scared? They're scared to fall in love, but that done happen. That's been done. Okay, that's been done. We have, in love card here, we have here the drama queen. So maybe their feelings feel pretty dramatic, pretty dramatic. Okay, and maybe they didn't want to love you. It says here, don't get pulled into the drama. So they didn't want to get sucked in by you, because maybe there's something about you that would have caused chaos in their life. Okay? Maybe there's something about your relationship that would have turned your relationship upside down. So maybe they tried not to fall in love with you, but they did anyways. We also, and not only do they love you, but they want you, right? We have here the audacity. Boundaries were crossed, and the worst part, they acted like it was their right. Okay, so they feel like very possessive of you, very entitled when it comes to you. They view you as theirs, right? Theirs. So they're very territorial about you. But I think what they like most about you is, let's call it your lust for life, your, it's not audacity, but let's call it Schwanevi. let's call it that. Whatever you want to call it, right? You just put yourself out there. You are authentic. I mean, you might be what people call loud, but you certainly get noticed because you are you, and you are unique, and your person's very attracted to that because maybe they've always lived their life with their true self hidden. Now let's see this emotionally detached card, which makes absolutely no sense. All right, we have here boiling point, but we do have this whiskey. So I do think your person tries to numb out. They don't want to think about all this because thinking about how in love they are with you, how you might I won't say screw up their life, but well, create a lot of let's call it complications. Create a lot of complications, right? When they think about all of that, and then how possessive they feel, right? They can really feel very frustrated. So I think they try a lot of different ways to numb out or disassociate from you and this connection. For some of them, they might be turning to substances. I'm just gonna put it out there. For others of them, because this feels almost like Three of Cups card, they might be drowning themselves in other people, and that's triggering to hear. But I gotta relay the message. For others of them, it might be just trying to blank out, keeping themselves very busy, like burning themselves out on both ends, right? So when they go home or whatever, they're just too exhausted to think and fantasize about you before bed. That's what they're trying to do. Now let's see this escape card. We have real receipts. The screenshots were saved. Now, okay, so if your person is with someone else, I get into messages. If your person with someone else, they're about to plan some sort of jailbreak here, and they gotta move on from that situation and move towards you. So it feels like they're like gathering up like evidence, right? I get that, gathering evidence that they can present, I guess, to this other person, to a court, whatever it is. But they're gathering all the information that they need in order to make this jailbreak. Well, for some of them, they could be in jail. They're preparing their case. So there is that's also indicated with real receipts. But what they also feel when they see you, there could have been an incident in the past where you may have presented receipts to them and you guys had some sort of big blow up. So they also think about that too. Okay? They also think about that too. And maybe that might be making them a little tense because they know coming back around to you, they got to face this too. Okay? Let's see, why do they feel relieved? We have backstabbed. Trust was offered and loyalty was assumed, but beneath the surface, betrayal has been brewing. I feel, going back to this, you may have presented receipts. I think this connection had some sort of big incident. Like every relationship has this, I wouldn't call it a pinnacle moment because sometimes that That might have been your lowest point in this relationship, but certainly it might have been our, well, it's not milestone, it's not a word, but a climactic moment. Let's call it that. I don't know what else to say. Okay. Um, and you may have found out that they did you dirty in some way. Um, they hurt you in some way. I want you to know that when that happened, they were relieved. You know why? Because it gave them an excuse to step back. And initially, they may have tried to use that big blow up to forget about you and forget about this connection. So, in a way, you confronting them kind of simplified their choice or simplified their life, especially if there was somebody else in the picture or some other competing interest, right? Maybe you told them they were working too much or whatever it is. It simplified their life in some way. So they were relieved and they thought in time they would forget about you. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It's still here. It's still here, right? Let's see this empathic card we have here, throwing shade. And because you guys have this really strong spiritual connection, they could feel your love, but they can also feel when you remember this time too. They feel the resentment, they feel the pain still from that experience, right? They also feel when you badmouth them, and you have to cope, right? So whatever, no judgment there. They can feel it. They can feel it. So they feel your love, but they also feel, for some of you, it might still be rage, but certainly your disapproval. Why are they anxious? Because they're still holding on to the toxic ties that may have affected your relationship in the first place. It's still there. So that thing you guys had a big argument about, or that person that you guys had a big argument about, or their addiction that you guys argued about, it's still there. It's still there. And when they think about addressing this head on, they get very anxious, right? Because it's going to cause big changes in their life. And for them, change is always something to be very cautious about, right? Because there's no guarantees. They don't know how to navigate it, okay? All right. What is happening within them that might be influencing some of these feelings? So we looked at their feelings. And now we're going to look at what's happening within your person that might be influencing some of these feelings. And then so this is the internal. And then we're going to look at the external. What's happening external to your relationship, but in their life, that might also be driving some of these emotions. We have here clearing negative energy. Your person is cleaning house. That's what's happening. They are cleaning house. And I don't think it's just with you. I think this is just generally. And of course, you're going to come up because they're falling in love. They're falling in love, right? So you're going to come up. All right, what's happening within them that might be driving these energies? We have kindness creates change. Every act of kindness shifts something somewhere. Be the reason someone feels hope again. Okay, so I feel like even in the lowest point of this relationship, you showed this person kindness when you were down, when they were down, when you could have kicked them and nobody would have judged you because of what they did to you. You still were kind and respectful to this person. You still showed them love. And this shifted something inside of them, because kindness begets kindness. And it just kind of flows along. It's like when you allow someone to merge in front of you in traffic. You see, when it's their opportunity to extend that same courtesy, they do it, right? They do it. Kindness begets kindness. So your kindness shifted something within this person, shifted some sort of change, right? When they were at their lowest, when you could have really did them dirty, gotten your revenge for whatever they did to you, you still show this person love. and it feels like that planted a seed that is now blooming. Because sometimes the seed of kindness doesn't um, sprout as soon as you plant it, because there's some people that you're allowed to merge in front of you in traffic, and they will not allow others to merge in front of them. So it doesn't always sprout at that moment. So maybe it waited a long time to sprout, but it is sprouting, and it is driving this person to look at the person in the mirror and see what needs healing, what needs changing, what kind of a lifestyle changes they need to make in order to be the person that they envision that they could be, or the best version of themselves. Okay, what else is happening in the, and you see, look, we have the growing plant here, right? It says embrace both dark and light, and it says true balance comes from embracing both your light and shadow. Both are necessary for growth, and both have a purpose, right? Right, you know, somebody might be out for you or whatever it is, or somebody might be trying to take advantage of you. They're not respecting your boundaries. You've told them over and over again. They gotta see a little bit of your shadow. Okay, so sometimes you have to defend that boundary if the person keeps transgressing it, right? And that's where, you know, a shadow comes in, right? So this is what they're doing. So they've recognized, you know, these different parts of themselves, and certainly shadow can also represent the traumatic things that may have happened to us, right? You know, whatever we resist persists. So it feels like they're embracing whatever may have happened in the past that may have changed their life, changed how they treated people, right? And they're acknowledging that, and maybe they didn't always treat people of the best. So, you know, they are transmuting a lot of that energy and making that energy work for them. Okay. What else is happening within them? We have create your karma, right? So they're making a choice to, you know, put some good energies out there. You know, as my father says, you do good, you do yourself. You do bad, you do yourself. So right now they want to do good, because, you know, at the end of the day, the world is a cycle, and it's going to come right back to them. And, you know, it makes you feel good, right? All right. Now, what's happening in your person's life? So we looked at the internal. Let's look at the external now. What's happening in your person's life that might be driving some of these energies? And this is a reading that is listed on my website, so you can check that out as well. If you want, I could put a discount on for you guys just for the next 48 hours, so you can check it out. All right, they are triggered. All right, what I get from this picture. Right now, your person's going through a very emotional time. And it feels like there is something that they may have uncovered. It could be about you, or it could be about other people in their life that's really kind of thrown them for a loop. They're not able to regulate their emotions at this time. Let's see what's going on here. All right, what's happening in their life that might be influencing how they feel about you? Well, they're having a spiritual awakening. And from the moment they talk about, think about, spirituality, spiritual awakening, soulmates, kindred spirits, blah, blah, blah. They think about you. They're thinking about you because maybe that's the seed you might have planted besides your kindness, right? Through your conversations, through your guys' interactions, maybe you planted the seed, and maybe at the time they didn't understand what the hell you were talking about. Maybe they thought you were kooky or whatever it is. But now that they're going through their own spiritual growth, now that they have more awareness, now that their consciousness is expanding, well, who else are they going to think of? They're going to think about you, right? You are the catalyst. What we have here, two-faced. Okay. I think the other thing that's happening is that now that their consciousness is expanding and their discernment is fully switched on, They are saying that there are people in their life that are in two-faced, right? Smile in their face and stab them in their back. Okay, so I think they're very aware of these people, and some of these people might even be really, really close to them. Might not just be co-workers. Okay, it might be people really close to them, or even spouses, or partners. Okay, or even friends. Okay, so they're seeing the people in their life. They're seeing beyond the mask. Okay, and maybe for some of you guys, you may have already warned these people, warn your person about these people, and they didn't take you on, right? Remember, thinking you're woo talk it. Maybe they think you're talking shit or whatever. Okay, maybe they weren't taking you seriously, but now that they're seeing it for themselves, boom, they go right back to viewer did tell me that I should have listened. And right now you're saying I told you so, and that's okay. Tell me who's the person that you warned them about. Yeah, they're learning some tough lessons right now, right? But some people gotta burn. They gotta burn to learn, and one of those persons is your person, right? So they're learning lessons, and that's wonderful. So they're not just going into woe is me mode, feeling sorry for themselves. It's just as I was saying about the unfolding rose, right? They're realizing that everything is happening for a reason, that everything is a lesson, and they're learning the wisdom behind the lesson that is unfolding for them right now. What else is happening? Now that they are elevating or raising their vibration, everything else is responding to that, including their material wealth and success. So that indicates to your person that they're on the right track, right? They're on the right track. So they're just going to continue on this healing journey that they are on, and they find the closer they move towards you is the more success that they experience. So everything is just pointing towards moving back around to you. Okay, let's get some messages from a person's 3D self, and then we're gonna get a message from their spirit guides. What does your person want you to know? Their 3D self. What do they want you to know? We have warning. Don't dismiss the red flags here. So they want you to know that those red flags that you saw early on, they're now tuning in, right? And they're not dismissing those red flags any longer. So there are people in their life that they are taking action on because they realize that they're two-faced. What's happening? This friendship is leading to more. So they want you to know that they consider you to be their friend, if not best friend. And they don't want it to stay as a friendship, although that's probably where they want to start to foster that trust, okay? Because maybe trust was broken in this relationship or this connection. So they want you to know that they don't just want to be friends, but they certainly want to start there. They want you to know as well that they are releasing anything that is an obstacle, anything or anyone that is include their trauma, anything or anyone that might have been an obstacle to this relationship. They are gradually releasing, all of them are making a way for this connection, because they see this connection as something that's destined, as something that is fated. This is a destined partnership. What else do they want you to know? They want you to know that your true love is already part of your life. So they want you to know that even though you guys may not be physically together this time, they are with you. Their spirit is with you. Their heart is with you. Their energy is with you right now. Okay? You are in their energy field. All right, what does their spirit guide want you to know? Or let's say what does their main spirit guide want you to know? We have community, spiritual ancestors, right? They want you to know that they're really gathered around your person right now because this is a pivotal moment in your person's life and they leaving anything to chance, right? So they're helping them. What does their spirit guide want you to know? Your person is in recovery, and they're in recovery because they are trying to crawl out of the sunken place. Okay, it feels like whatever may have happened between you guys, they went through a period of, you know, deep reflection, deep depression, soul searching. So we're looking like an ego death, and then they're only just seeing the light. They are hopeful that both of you guys can come together. Right now, you're kind of separate. These two stars are separate, but they're hoping that at some point the stars align and allow both of you guys to walk through that door. Their spirit guide also wants to know, and their spirit guide might be a nature spirit. So we're talking about maybe a deva, fairy, gnome, earth being, whatever it is. They want you to know that they are supporting your person right now, helping your person really get grounded and ground the life that they want. So your person is not alone, right? They have a whole team that is working with them very closely at this time. All right, now based on what we're seeing here, what can we expect will be your person's next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading? And we have here King of Wands reverse, and that's a card of non-action, by the way. So it may not be any physical action towards it. We have here Seven of Swords, and that Seven of Swords, because of everything that is unfolded in this reading, it talks about making a plan to sneak away. It talks about strategy. We have Queen of Wands here because they want to come towards you. They're magnetized towards you. We have the Ten of Swords, right? Whatever breach may have happened in your connection, they want to mend that. And we have here Magician in reverse, but I don't think they're doing anything active about it right now. It looks like it's all in the planning stages. Okay, it's all in the planning stages right now. All right, let's see what your advice card is. We have Metamorphosis. So it looks like both of you guys, because both of these people are changing, both of you guys are changing. So it's not just your person, and it's a change for the better, and it's a change that's being guided by both of you guys' spirit team. So your person is, they want you to know your person is putting in the work, but don't forget or don't lose sight of the fact that you also need to put in your work, right? You're not just a bystander in their ascension or evolutionary journey. You also have your own shit going on. Okay, so what's the spirit wants you to focus on right now? We just pull out any card. Accept imperfections, right? So there's something around self-acceptance that spirit wants you to work on, and whether it might be it could be a disability. Maybe you're differently abled. Maybe you look differently than what is the accepted beauty standard. Maybe there's some emotional issues that you need to dive into, or your past. There might be a past that you're ashamed of, or a past that might have been hallmarked by trauma. Whatever it is, spirit saying it's time to accept yourself as you are, right? No judgment, no judgment. And I can't remember what is this Japanese art, but you can put it down below, right? I'm not going to stop to Google right now, where when something is broken, you kind of glue it back with a kind of gold dust and you make something totally new, and the imperfection becomes a perfection, right? So spirits remind you that you're perfectly imperfect, and there's no judgment that you need to mete out to yourself. You are who you are, and anybody worth their salt, why am I saying assault? So maybe there could have been some sort of assault, and sometimes people carry a lot of guilt or shame or blame about that. Spirit is saying you are absolutely perfect just the way you are. You are not broken. There's nothing broken about you. You're not broken. You are absolutely perfect, and I want to remind you of that. You're perfect, and you're deserving of love. You're deserving of having your needs met. You don't have to settle for shit. Okay? All right, my love. So that was your reading. I hope that was helpful. Remember, check your notifications. Make sure all notifications are on, okay? And if you can subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate that. All right? Take care. Bye. Okay, pal, two, welcome to your reading. So if you chose, oh no, let's call it a starburst flower. I don't know what else you want to call it. Um, this is going to be, as I said before, your advice card. So we're just gonna put it here. So we're gonna look at what does your person feel when they see you. And as I said before, see could mean look at your social media, see you in person, bring you to mind. What do they feel in their heart space? So what we're going to do, let us start by establishing the framework for this reading. We're going to look at your person's energy generally in default mode. And then we're going to look at your person's energy towards you. Now, as I said before, we're going to lay down the significators. Then we're going to look at, well, how do they feel when they see you? We're going to look at what's happening within them that might be amplifying these feelings. We're going to look at what might be happening in their life that might be driving these emotions. We're going to get messages from their 3D self, a message from their spirit guide. What does their spirit guide want you to know? We're going to look at their next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. And then we're going to get. So there I am chatting away. And then I realized like my camera switched off as soon as we started logging into your person's energy. So it feels like, we are, I wouldn't say on forbidden ground because the spirit is allowing us to receive this message. But, this is something that your person wouldn't readily admit about themselves. And when I asked for a card for their energy generally, it came out with the critic, right? And it feels like, your person may come across as very critical, very judgmental, so much so that maybe people find them a little difficult to get on with. Maybe it manifests as perfectionism. They're demanding perfection of others, always looking for that perfect partner. But Spirit is reminding us that whatever outside projection there may be, this is how your person feels about themselves. As harshly as they judge others, doesn't even hold a candle to how they judge themselves. This person's very, very harsh. And they impose standards on themselves that are absolutely unrealistic. Absolutely unrealistic. They're basically setting themselves up for failure. So your person always feels like they're not good enough because they're never meeting the standards that they set for themselves. And then they project that failure outward, project that frustration outward, project that anger that they feel for self against other people. So your person might be a very difficult person to partner with, to live with, to be around, because they are always pushing themselves harder and trying to push other people harder as well. Okay, and that is an energy that's just going to destroy you, right? You're not going to enjoy a life in that sort of energy, right? That's the energy of the nag. Let's see their energy towards you. Well, if it's one person they approve of, it's you. Right? We have here the living beauty. All right. So as critical as they are of other people, and of themselves. It looks like they make a serious exception for you, and that's saying a lot, right? Considering the person that we are tapping into. They think you're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And there might be something about you that does not fit into society's idea of beauty. Okay. Maybe in the world, in the eyes of society, there's something about you that society might find wanting or worthy of rejection or whatever. This person thinks you're amazing. This person thinks you are gorgeous. This person thinks you're intelligent and wise and just so elevated above everyone else. They think you're absolutely authentic and loving and just very sweet. And there's something innocent about you where other people may not think that the word innocent might be appropriate for you, but this is how they see you. You can do no wrong. You can do no wrong in their eyes. This is someone looking at you through the eyes of love. And as I was saying, looking at you through whatever eyes, God, is it Brian Adams or what's the other one? Michael Bolton. Sometimes they used to sound familiar. The song "When You Love a Woman," you can see your future through her eyes. This is what they see when they look at you. They see their whole life unfold. They can see, you guys on the rocking chair holding hands on the porch. It's that kind of vibe. It's that kind of vibe. All right. Let's look at their feelings. Let's look at their feelings. When your person thinks about you, thinks about this connection, when your person sees you, when they see you, what happens in the heart space? When they see you, how do they feel? When they see you, how do they feel when they see you? And we have here neurotic. Okay. Now, their mind just starts going a mile a minute, but their mind always going a mile a minute. We saw that already, right? And usually it's weaponized against themselves. But they go a mile a minute thinking about, what you're doing. Are they good enough for you? Do they have enough to offer? Blah, blah, blah. And they just keep going on and on and on and on and on. So I think that, because they care so much about you, because we saw that with this Living Beauty card, their anxiety just goes through the roof, right? It triggers a lot of self-esteem issues, a lot of self-worth issues for them. Let's see. What do they feel when they see you? We have empty, nothing to give. And look at you. Look at how they see you. Beautiful, gorgeous, and she certainly has a lot to give, right? A lot of love to give, and they just feel empty. They feel void. They don't feel like they have anything. How do they feel? Desperate to be with you, desperate to be in your arms, desperate to be the one that you admire, the one that you lean on, right? They feel panicked. Maybe there could also be a time factor. Maybe they feel like time is running out. So I'll clarify these cards. Let's see, how else do they feel? How do they feel? Feel shy. And maybe it's a person that's always, at least on the outside, they project confidence and they're not afraid of anything and that kind of thing. But no, you make them feel the word is not embarrassed, but certainly hesitant, very vulnerable. Okay, what else do they feel? Look at 8 of these. We have curious, right? They want to know everything about you. They want to know everything about your life. and everything about anyone that connects with your energy. How else do they feel? Codependent, addicted to you, and your energy, like they can't live without you. But we also have repulsed. I don't feel like it's about you. I feel like this is how they see themselves. Maybe they're repulsed about themselves generally. Maybe they're repulsed by things that may have happened in the past, in the way that they dealt with you. So again, that's more, of that harsh self-criticism as well. Apple cards and that, they feel remorseful. So something definitely went down between you guys. They definitely hurt you in some way. And what else is happening? What else do they feel? And tense. So we have a lot of, I told you, you trigger a lot of anxiety in this person, but that's a them problem though. That doesn't have anything to do with you. That's them and their self-esteem issues. All right, so let's clarify these cards. And we're going to clarify these cards with the Curiosity Oracle deck. And we're going to get a lot more information so that I ensure that I'm giving you all the messages that you need to receive today. Underneath the deck, we have invite only. I feel like you have VIP access to this person's heart and this person's energy. Okay? I don't think many people get close to your person at all. Remember, they have low self-esteem. The closer people get is the more they will know that your person, that's what they're thinking of, that your person is an imposter. So they don't let too many people close. But it looks like you are one of the chosen. Okay, you are one of the chosen. All right. Now, when they see you, we see this void card. What is this about? Or do they try to be unbothered? Why do they feel void? We have here fake profile. Your person is a great pretender. That's what I get. They're pretending everything is okay. They're pretending that they have this wonderful life. They have this wonderful home. They have this wonderful family. But Spirit's saying here, it's not a filter. It's a full-on facade. The person being presented doesn't match the reality behind the screen. And it's something that we picked up on right away, right? Your person, they put an image out there, but inside there's someone who is crippled with guilt, crippled with shame, crippled with remorse, has a lot of besieged by insecurities, right? So everybody looking, oh my God, they have everything, sorted, or they have their shit together, but inside your person always feels like they're falling apart. Okay? And it feels like, when they see you, this is amplified because they see you as having everything. Now, there's a larger girl in this picture, and there's a larger girl in this picture as well. So it could be that you might be a larger person, okay? But know that your person just sees you as full of life. They see you as full of love, and they see your life as full. They see your life as full. So you're not necessarily a larger person, but they see you as larger than life, right? They see you just getting a lot of stuff done. They might see you getting like a lot of attention. Maybe you're very visible in some way, right? We see you having a phone here, so maybe you have some sort of heavy social media presence, or it might be that your job is about centered around social media or appearing in public. They see you have everything. You got it going on. Right? You got your stuff together. You're very visible, right? You're living your purpose. And the more you succeed is the more crippled and restricted they feel in their life. And that's why this void and energy is happening, because they see you as living a life of purpose whilst they are just in some sort of vacuous existence. Okay? It looks good on paper, but it's just a shell. Okay? That's how they feel. Why they feeling desperate? We have unsent texts. Okay, they want to talk to you. They want to talk to you so bad. Okay. And maybe you guys are in touch. Maybe you guys are in touch. But what they really want to say has never escaped their lips. Right? So maybe they're unsaid words. Unsaid words. And they feel like the more they delay in saying what they have to say, speaking their truth, is the greater the probability that you just catch this bloody bus and leave them behind. So they do think that there's a time factor here. Okay. So why do they feel shy? Why do they feel shy? We have here throwing shade. Maybe before they did throw shade at you. Okay, but remember, it looks like this was all rooted in jealousy. So now that they think about the ways that they may have been passive aggressive towards you, now they realize where all that came from. And it's a deep sense of, never feeling good enough. So I get that there might have been a point in your connection where this person might have even been, practicing some very narcissistic techniques, maybe, gaslighting you, nagging you. Okay. But it was all rooted in jealousy. And they felt like if they didn't break you down, that you would see that you were too good for them and that you would leave. No excuse for their behavior, just a reason. What are they curious about? Secret affair. Who you're with right now. Who you're with right now, they think that you have a secret love. They think that you have somebody else and they are determined to get to the root of that. Right? And they think that because you're no longer giving them the time of day that they used to give them before, right? So you switched up, you've changed, right? You're not accepting their bullshit anymore. So the only reason that they can come up with is that you have somebody else, but maybe you're just valuing yourself more. Maybe you're just honoring yourself more. But they think, there has to be somebody else in the picture. So more jealousy again. All right, codependent, and we have here test results. The guesswork is over. An answer is coming that will clarify everything or complicate it even more. Okay. It could be that this connection has been through a tough time, like different tests thrown at it by the universe, by other people, and yet the bond between you guys still hasn't broken. So it feels like you've passed some sort of test in this person's mind. Maybe they're that kind of person that likes to test others, test people's loyalty, test people's trustworthiness. Okay, and it looks like you passed, and that cements their bond with you even more. It makes them even more attracted to you. Okay. There's also a part of them, and that's a few of you, where this person, all they think about is making you dependent on them. And one of the ways that they've thought about doing that is to lock you down. I won't call it reproductive abuse, but it's reproductive abuse by locking you down, by making you pregnant or something like that, right? Some sort of pregnancy trap. Okay, so also look out for that as well. Now, they are repulsed. Why are they repulsed? We have here good karma. You've always been good to this person, even when they didn't deserve it, right? You've always been good to this person. And they're repulsed by how badly they treated you. You were an earth angel, right? You were an earth angel to this person. You helped this person when, they were at their lowest point. I see her solar plexus is activated. Okay, so you may have tried to really boost this person up, right? Always giving this person encouragement, and they may have bit the hand that fed them, so they're really judging themselves, and they're remorseful. We see it here. Why are they remorseful? Well, right, burning bridges. They burned the hand that fed them. Burning bridges. So they're sorry. They're sorry because a lot of the things they just can't take back. And they're not sure that you guys can move past some of these issues, or some of these things that were done, or some of these things that were said, right? So that's why they're in a constant state of anxiety, because they don't even know what's going to happen, right? They know that their actions have consequences. And maybe they're enjoying some of these consequences right now, but they're wondering what else, what else is next? What else is next? Is this the full of the karma, or is there more to come? Is there more to come? So they are on tender hooks right now. Okay. Now, let's look at what's happening within that might be driving these feelings or emotions. What's happening with them themselves? And then we're going to look at what's happening in their life. What's happening within them that might be driving some of these feelings? What shifts are happening within them that's driving these feelings? We have setting healthy boundaries, okay? So maybe they took some of your boundary setting in the past as you shunning them, or you betraying them, or you leaving them behind. But now that they've had to set healthy boundaries for themselves, they now see where you are coming from. Okay? They're now understanding why you did the things that you did. All right, what's it? Clearing negative energy. Yeah. So anything in their life that is not supporting them, that is not helping them be the best person that they can be. Anybody that is a party pooper or a dream snatcher, because you know there are people like that, right? You don't tell them anything about what you're going to do, because they're going to find a way they're going to find a reason why you can't do it. So all the dream snatchers in their life, they are setting boundaries with these people, right? And clearing their energy field. Maybe they might even be doing some decluttering at this time, but it's not just physical decluttering, it's also emotional decluttering as well. We have here embrace both light and dark. And can I tell you, these two cards came out of pile one. So there was an indicator that pile one was connected. Now we're getting a confirmation. Now the energies are different, especially like in the feelings. Okay, but you can always get little supplemental messages. Okay, so they are embracing. Remember we talked about this person is deeply self-critical, right? Now they're embracing both light and shadow. They're embracing their strengths. They're embracing what they consider to be their weaknesses. And because of that, they're not being as self-critical. And because they're not being as self-critical, they're not being critical to other people either. Okay? What else is happening? They're embracing themselves, and that is allowing them to embrace others, including, receiving love, right? Maybe they thought they weren't worthy of love in the past. Okay? What else are they doing? They're understanding soulmate lessons. So they see you as a soulmate. They see that you have been one of their greatest teachers. They see that everything that has happened in your relationship was to teach them a lesson, and they're determined to integrate these lessons. Some of these lessons are deeply spiritual, and because some of these lessons triggered your person's intuition and maybe triggered some sort of third eye opening. So they're embracing all these lessons and being less critical of you and other people in their life. They're realizing that every relationship that they have in their life serves a purpose, not just for fun and games or pics or the likes. Everything serves a higher purpose, and they're determined to learn the lesson. And we have healed emotional trauma, right? Your person, they were self-critical because they always saw themselves as broken, or saw themselves as lacking, or wanting. But now they see themselves as whole, right? They're opening themselves to love, and also they're dealing with what may have been driving this low self-esteem in the first place, right? They're gone back in time, back to their childhood, back to old relationships, and they're taking back the power that was stolen from them there, okay? Taking back the self-regard that was left there. What's happening in your person's life that might be influencing some of these feelings? All right, so we looked at what's happening internally. Now let's look at what's happening external to your person that might be influencing or driving some of these feelings. What's happening? We have sugar-coated, okay? It says sweet but deceptive words. They're saying that there are people in their life that come off as sugar and spice and everything nice, but underneath it all, it's steel. Underneath it all, it is deception. They're realizing that there are people in their life that are wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay, so what's happening? Your person is becoming more discerning, and they're seeing that there are people in their life who really shouldn't have a place there. They don't mean your person any sort of good. Okay, what's happening externally? We have a secret admirer. We have hidden affection, unknown interest. Someone is watching. Okay, so a secret admirer too. Now remember, we had secret affair. Okay, so your person, I think they're still stuck on this idea that you have somebody else. They're still stuck on this idea, and this is making them panic. This is making them panic. And sometimes, especially if you're dealing with someone that is avoidant, it is only when there's distance in the relationship that they feel safe enough to look at their heart space, their feelings in their heart space. So this could be what's happening. So the more you pull away, establish boundaries, become your own person, and make decisions for yourself, is the more keenly they feel for you, because they feel safe enough to dip into their heart space. So it feels like this idea that you might be engaged in another relationship is bringing up all sorts of feelings that they may have had buried or suppressed. Okay? What else is happening in your person's life that's driving? We have boundaries, I told you. Saying no firmly, protecting your peace. The more they protect their peace is the more they understand who you are. Right? More they understand who you are. Setting limits clearly. Enough is enough, right? So they're standing up to the people in their life. They're feeling a lot more empowered to make decisions in their life. And maybe one of the decisions that they want to make is a decision for you. What else is happening? We have self-care, loving themselves. Loving themselves. So that massive self-critic that we logged on to right at the beginning, they're gradually letting that go and loving themselves more. Now we have two flames here. So this person could think that you are their twin flame. But it says here, prioritizing rest, recharging emotionally, right? And so your person isn't like going or burning themselves out at both ends anymore. They actually have time to think. They actually have time to reflect on what's happening in their life. Okay? And the more they reflect is the more they think about you. Right? They've created space in their life for self-reflection. Right? They're trying to make a comeback here. So this person's really self-focused at this time. They're building their self-esteem. They could be, dealing with some health issues that they may have put off, but it's all about taking care of themselves. And the more they take care of themselves, the more that they love themselves, and the more that they love themselves is the more their mind goes towards you. Now that they know what love is. Let's get a message from their 3D self, and then we're gonna get a message from their spirit guide. Just a second. Some sort of a mix-up here. Maybe they want to tell you there was some sort of mix-up. Now, what's going on? Let's get a message from their 3D self. Put away the computer. Working less and having more fun will help strengthen your relationship. And that's exactly what they're doing, right? The more they get rest, the more they work on themselves, is the more they keep drawn back to you, because you are a symbol of what healthy love looks like, or what real love looks like. You've learned the spiritual lesson, and we have here mastery. So they want you to know that they are learning the spiritual lessons. They are mastering themselves. They are loving themselves more. They want you to know that there is growth that's happening, right? They're making themselves a lot more stable. And because they're making themselves a lot more stable, they're recognizing the stability in you and this connection. This relationship can stand the test of time, right? So they're seeing now that this connection has what it takes. Has what it takes. We have self-care, clear your energy field and focus on yourself before acting. So they'll let you know that's what they're doing, right? They're focusing on themselves because they have to, heal the relationship with themselves before they move forward with this connection. Okay, so this person, they're having some sort of comeback, some sort of glow up that they're orchestrating. And they're learning the lessons. That's the most important thing. They're learning the lessons that they're meant to learn. They are evolving. They are changing. Okay? All right. Let's get a message from your person's spirit guide. And we have here devotion. So what I want you to know, that this person is devoted to you. No matter what they may try to project on the outside, they are devoted to you. They love you. We have here competition warrior guide. So this idea that they're in competition with somebody else has really lit a fire under your person's butt. I think that they might have been nonchalant in the past and they thought they had all the time in the world. They never thought that you would leave them behind. But this idea that you are interested in somebody else is what's really ramping up your person's response to the spiritual lessons. Really lit a fire. Okay, they were taking you for granted. So this is all being orchestrated, right? They are being led to think that you have somebody else on purpose. All right. Let's look at what's going to be your person's next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. And then we're going to see what's under your advice card. Remember, please, can I ask you to subscribe to the channel as an energy exchange, and make sure you have all notifications on, right? Now, if you had notifications, all notifications on before, and it's been unclicked, let me know, because that's something that's been happening within the YouTube community as well. Okay, so let me know. I can make a complaint. We have Three of Pentacles. So let's see. So there might be a third party here. What's going to be their next actions towards you? We have Nine of Wands. That's fighting for your love. We have Nine of Swords in reverse, facing their fears, all nines. So this is a completion of a cycle. We have Temperance, wanting to make things right, wanting to give an equal measure. And then we had the Knight of Swords. Expect to hear from this person. They are just want to rush in and blurt out all sorts of shit, right? Because they want to make things right, and they don't want you to leave, and they don't want to lose you, okay? If there was a dark chapter in your relationship, they want that chapter to close, right? Because what they're looking for a fresh start. They were looking for another opportunity with you. So here they come rushing in. Expect to hear from this person within a month, right? They got a lot to say, but they just want to make things right, okay? All right, let's just see. What is your advice card? And we have here slow and steady. Okay, so Spirit is saying, maybe this person is a turtle. Maybe this person is a snail. And, they all have hard shells, but soft on the inside. So that's a message for you. And maybe that's who you are. Maybe you're hard on the outside and soft on the inside. But Spirit is saying that your person is hard on the outside and they're soft on the inside. So maybe they're Cancer, maybe the Cancer moon, something like that. Anyways, maybe the pace in which your person has proceeded in the past might be very frustrating to you. Okay. But Spirit is saying this pace, especially starting off as friends first and then it gradually evolving, is going to serve this relationship well because it engenders trust. Okay? So as frustrating as it might be, it is for your highest good. All right? That doesn't mean that you wait until this person takes action, right? You have agency at any point in time. You can choose something else. You can choose someone else. And maybe you are in another relationship, but Spirit saying, take it slow. Don't jump into that relationship because they're trying to forget this person. Take it slow, right? You don't want to use that person to try and forget this one. Take it slow and see if you really, really care about this other person before you proceed. All right, my love, so that was your reading. I hope that was helpful. Take care. Thank you guys so much. Remember, check that notification button for me, okay? And if you can subscribe to the channel, I would just love that. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile 3. My goodness. Couldn't even speak there. Hey, pile 3. If you chose this flower, this is going to be your reading. So as I told you, this is the advice card. So we're going to get this card at the end. Oh, it blends so beautifully at the end. So let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to do, as we always do, let us set the foundation for the reading by looking at the energies. Their energies generally, so that is their default mode, okay, default settings. And then we're going to look at what's their settings regarding you. After that, we're going to look at, well, what do they feel when they see you? Whether when they see you online, whether they see you in person, whether they see you in a dream, think about you. What do they feel? And then we're going to look at what might be happening in their inner world or inside that might be amplifying these feelings, what's shifting for them. We're going to look at what's happening in their outer world, in their life generally, that might be influencing these feelings. We're going to get messages from their 3D self. We're going to get messages from their spirit guide. What does their spirit guide want you to know? And then we're going to look at what's going to be their next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. And then we're going to get this advice card. What spirit's advice for you, because you're the most important person in this thing. All right, so underneath the deck we have the Dark Goddess, and the Dark Goddess it's about temptation, and it's about thinking that something that you're very attracted to because she's very sexual, right? I wouldn't say sensual. I don't get a sensuality, but certainly very, very sexualized. Let's say sexualized. She's very sexualized. So this somebody very sexualized, but this person has barbs, and this is how this person, it looks like this is how they see you. They see you as someone they're very attracted to, but there's something about you that's going to ruin their life, or you're going to hurt and harm them in some particular kind of way. Now, certainly this could be their paranoia. It certainly could be their paranoia, or it could be, they just feel so absolutely vulnerable, and maybe there's a sense of helplessness, and they feel that vulnerability is weakness, and your attractiveness is power. Okay, so they're very wary of you, and it has nothing to do with who you are. This is how they are perceiving you. Okay, I remember they're judging you from their frame of reference. So this might be who they are. Maybe they are the Black Widow. Maybe they lure people in and then hurt them. So they'll be very paranoid because you know what? Karma's a bitch and she always finds the address. So they could be very paranoid, right? Maybe that was your experience with this person. Maybe they lured you in and hurt you. You're gonna let me know. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, their default setting, we have the competitor. Okay, so there's someone that's incredibly competitive, and competitiveness comes from a place of insecurity because you're trying to prove yourself. Okay, and it also comes from a sense of lack, like there's some sort of limited resource, so you must fight for it, or else you won't get any. And the world is very abundant. Lack is a total illusion, right? The world is very abundant. So this person, they're always fighting to prove themselves. They always see themselves as in a competition with others. Maybe even in their own family. Maybe they have an active civil rivalry going on. You can tell me. An active sibling rivalry going on, where they're trying to always prove themselves, or maybe they're trying to get the validation from parents, family members. So they're very, very driven, but it's not driven as in like driven to actualize. This is about making up for something that they think that they lack inside. So this is their default setting, very competitive spirit. Let's see their settings with regard to you. The destroyer, I told you, they think you'll destroy everything. They think you will destroy everything. Let's pull out that dark goddess card, because I think it is incredibly relevant. Okay, so this is what the energy underneath the deck. This is how they see you, and then they come here now with the destroyer. So there's something about you. There's something about being attracted to you. There's something about being in a relationship with you that will destroy everything that they built, or maybe will destroy their facade, because this is the energy of the Tower. It is Plutonian energy. Something has to be destroyed for something to be unveiled, or something to be revealed, or something to be created. It's the Big Bang. Okay, so your persons are afraid of the Big Bang, right? They don't know what's going to come after. They don't know what's going to come after the ego death. There's no guarantees. So they want life just the way it is. And you are a threat to that. Your presence denotes change. Maybe a lot of you, maybe some of you are Aries, or maybe Scorpio. And when you call Aries and Scorpio into your life, it's action time. You have to change by force, right? That's when anytime you call those two people into your life, it's because you've been resistant and Spirit is sending in the assassins, right? You have to change by force. Okay, so maybe some of you guys, strong Aries or Scorpio energy, or you have them very prominent in your chart, and this person is feeling it, so they are on guard against you. Spirit, what is this person afraid of? Let's see if we get an answer. But I do think they don't want to be vulnerable. We have here the Slut. Okay, so as I told you, they're judging you from their frame of reference. I think we're logging into someone who might have been promiscuous. And That's a very judgy word. But I think I'm using the judgy word because I think there was no integrity. Because if there was integrity, I would not have used promiscuous. I would have used free spirited or exercising their sexual autonomy. I would have used that word. But I used the judgy word because I think they were using their sexuality to manipulate people or to run from their pain. So, again, another kind of sinister motive behind their actions. Okay, so because this person may have been promiscuous, they're also thinking that you are, and that you will also hurt them, or you will also cheat on them when they might have been the one that might have hurt you and cheated on you. Okay, so again, it's a fear of karma biting them in the ass. I also get someone who is commitment phobic as well. Okay, commitment phobic. So very scared of commitment and what commitment dictates. Okay, what commitment dictates. I think I get that. I also get maybe there's something about your libido or sexuality that intimidates this person. Maybe they're not able to rise to the occasion. Mm. So there's something about that. There's a fear of not being able to satisfy you. Okay. And this could be something actual, so maybe some ED or something like that going on, or maybe if it's a woman and female body, maybe there's been trauma and they find it difficult to be intimate, both emotionally and physically. So there could be that as well, not thinking that they're not good enough. So there are all little things here, but it's really centered around their sexuality, how they have practiced it, and their self-confidence in that arena. Okay, and maybe it's some health issues or concerns that they might have. Either way, they feel intimidated. And remember, this person has to win. They have to be the best. They have to be on top. But it feels like in the realm of sexuality, they're not the best and they're not on top. And that intimidates this person. But you love this person, right? If you wanted pure sex, you would have gone and found it, right? I don't think you're hard up. So maybe they think that people only want them for sex. You're gonna let me know your thoughts down below. I'm sure you have a lot of them, right? All right, let's see. So what do they feel when they see you? I don't know. I feel sad doing this reading. Like there's a lot of trauma here. I don't know if it's for you or your person. Probably sexual trauma. I get that. All right, what do they feel? We have, I told you, they're afraid of karma. Karma girl. Karma guy. Karma they're afraid of it. They're afraid of the consequences because I don't think they have conducted themselves with integrity. There's no ethical non-monogamy here. I think this person might have been manipulating people. You're not the only one. Okay? All right, let's see. So anyway, what do they feel? What do they feel when they see? What do they feel? We have making bank, financial flows increasing. All right. They think that you are on top of the world. They think that you have actualized, especially when it comes to your finances and the material world. And remember, and it falls right on this card, they are competitor. So they see themselves as in competition with you. So I think there's a lot of envy that they feel when this person sees you. Okay, let's see. What else do they feel? What do they feel? Oh God, this is not even the deck I'm supposed to be using. We have here court date. Okay. They feel that there is some sort of karmic debt between you guys. They think that they're going to have some sort of come upon from how they have treated you. I'm going to use a deck that I'm supposed to be using, but I guess we're supposed to get those two cards. We are supposed to get those two cards. I was meant to use this deck, right? So they see you as some sort of competitor. And they also think that there's a karmic debt or some sort of injustice that lingers between you guys. Now, because we have money here, this person could have also manipulated you into maybe investing in their business, giving them money or something like that. And then maybe they didn't repay. I'm hoping not. How do they feel? Trustworthy. So they do see you as someone who is trustworthy. Let's see what's going on. All right, how do they feel? I'm going to take the 8 cards I was supposed to take. I told you guys. And it's right here on this making bank card. This person, well, they have jealous here, but it's you know what? It could be envious and jealous. I do think with this competitor card and how they're kind of slut shaming you here, right? I think they think that you have somebody else, or at least you're having sex with somebody else, right? They do think that. So I do think they're jealous that there are other people in your life that have access to intimacy with you. Okay, I get that, but I also get that this person is envious of you and envious of the life that you guys have created. Some of you guys are professionals. I'm picking up in the legal system, so maybe attorney at law, solicitor, something like that going on, paralegal. Okay, and maybe they are up and coming. It could be, right? But they are both jealous and envious. Okay, what are they feeling? Foolish. They're beating themselves up because they know that you are a prize. Yeah, they're shaming you here. They're shaming you here, but they know that you are a prize. Maybe it's sour grapes, guys. Maybe it's sour grapes because that's what the fox said when he couldn't get the grapes, right? So part of this judgment that they're passing on you is because somehow they don't have access to you. Look at them, feeling depressed. Yeah. Could be because of how they acted. Maybe they feel dumb. Well, they do feel dumb. We're going to see why. Could be how they acted. Feeling depressed. But they're also feeling powerful, right? Maybe withholding or withdrawing from this connection makes them feel empowered because it feels like they feel like they get a one-up on you, like they're controlling the narrative, controlling the relationship. Anytime they connect with you, they feel weak, they feel helpless. How do they feel? I'll clarify these cards. We have burden, right? So this is on their heart, this is on their chest. Okay, it could be that they're burdened by the past as well. But Spirit's saying, it's the narratives that they tell themselves that's really sabotaging them at this time, right? Because the narrative they're telling themselves is that they can't satisfy you, that they're not good enough. You're more advanced than them. You're more wealthy than them. You're more attractive than them. So they keep reminding themselves of how much more you are than they are. And, they're just breaking themselves down at this point. They're emasculating themselves, right? We have scorn. It could be that they think they are being scorned by you because maybe you've pulled back your energy. And then we also have helpless. My God. Person is a mess. All right, let's see what's going on. Let us clarify these cards. I'm going to use this curiosity. And I already shuffled it, so let's see what's going on. All right, Spirit, clarify this jealous card. But I think we hit the nail on the head. We have here curated image. All right, so listen. You look good. You look good. And maybe you're ensuring that you look good. Especially when you post your pics. Okay, you're ensuring that everything is curated. So maybe this life that they perceive is what you want them to perceive, because that's what you've put out there. You've put out there this image of success. You've put out this image of attractiveness and sexuality and all of that. So they're seeing that and they are getting jealous, right? So for some of you, you are intentionally posting a lot of pics about your lifestyle, yourself, and they're getting just because they know that people are attracted to you. You're a package. You're a complete package. Okay? Who wouldn't want that? That's what they're telling themselves. Who wouldn't want you? Why do they feel foolish? Right? Because I think for some of you guys, we have your test results. Now, for some of you guys, they may have abandoned you when you were pregnant. Okay? That's for a very small amount of people that are watching this reading. So you're going to tell me down below if that is your story. But for others of you, this person has, and maybe that's why Scorpio came up. Maybe they are Scorpio. Scorpio, when it's not in its best aspect, they like to test people's loyalty, and maybe even in their best aspect, they like to test people's loyalty. Okay? It's test after test after test. And maybe you got fed up. You got fed up of proving your worth, proving your loyalty to this person, and maybe you just walked away. Now they're feeling kind of dumb. Okay? They're feeling depressed, and we have here shady dealings. I think they've tried all sorts of ways, whether it's all kind of fly-by-night schemes, Ponzi schemes, shady crypto investments, shady dealings. They've tried all those kinds of things to try to get where you are, to try to level up. And it looks like everything has just fallen by the wayside, and they just keep getting bit. So by now, they feel blighted. They feel blighted. But at the same time, they feel empowered. Why do they feel empowered here? We have here drama queen. This person feels most empowered when they can stir shit up. Also, Scorpio not in its best aspect, right? They feel most empowered when they can stir shit up. And they may have done something recently to stir shit up. So they might be feeling like they're getting back in their groove here. But really, underneath it all, this person just feels like they're living some sort of empty existence. Now they feel burdened, and they should. You know why? Because they're living a double life. And quite frankly, I don't know how people do it. I don't have the energy for this shit. No. A lot of energy to do this. I don't want to give you all kudos or anything that people who are living this double life, but this takes a lot of energy. Right? So they must be burdened. They must be burdened, right? They're burdened by all the secrets. And it takes also, a lot of finances to do this thing, right? It takes a lot of willpower. You have to keep track of all the lies you're telling. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Yeah, so they're burdened by the love of life, right? For some of you, they could have a lot of strong feelings for you. They certainly do, right? They have a lot of strong feelings for you, but they might be with somebody else. After a while, that takes a toll on your body and your mental health too. So right now, they're self-sabotaging. We have here ex drama. So for some of them, they might have gone back to an ex, but just a reminder that an ex is an ex for a reason. Okay, so they're going back to an ex. They thought, that might have been easier to navigate. And then the moment they went back there, they realized exactly why this person was an ex in the first place. But maybe they got too deep, right? Maybe the ex got pregnant. Who knows? They're saying here the past didn't stay in the past. An old flame is reigniting. So it looks like they may have gone back to somebody else. Now, we have here scorn. So I think this person thinks that you have basically left them behind, that you don't want to have anything to do with them. So they might be creating fake profiles in order to spy on you and see what you are up to, because maybe you blocked them and everything. Maybe you did. Okay. They're feeling helpless now because they've been exposed. So for some of you guys, they did have another relationship and they didn't tell you about it. Okay. Or they may have made promises to you and then reneged. Okay. So now they feel helpless. They don't have any leverage with which to, lure you back into their life. So they're just feeling hopeless right now. Now let's ask Spirit, what's shifting in their inner world that is influencing these feelings? And then we're going to look at what's happening in their life. What's happening in their inner world that might be influencing these feelings? We have released the soul burden, and we saw that they're burdened, right? Okay. So this person is clearing house, and they might be doing a lot of spiritual healing. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of soul ties. It says, what you carry in silence still shapes your path. Speak it, feel it, and finally let go. So this person's been holding a lot inside, whether it's trauma, whether it's unresolved relationships, okay, loose ends. It feels like they're cleaning house. But I do think they might be doing some shamanic work as well and releasing any soul ties that they might have. Now, remember, they were slut shaming you, but remember, we were detectives and realized that they were only judging you by their frame of reference, and they were the ones that were not practicing ethical non-monogamy in the past. So it feels like they may have made the rounds. They may have made the rounds, okay? I do get that they were a person in pain. They made the rounds. So right now they might be doing a lot of sacral chakra work to clear that out. There could have been some sexual abuse here as well. That's all that they're also trying to clear out. Okay. And this can also account for their hypersexuality as well. Some people have naturally high libidos, but the persons are, it's acting out. Okay, what else is shifting within them that's amplifying these feelings? Heal the attachment wound. Okay, so they're realizing that a lot of the ways that they are living, the way that they're living their life, or how they were living their life in the past, is connected to an attachment wound from the past. It could be that they might have felt abandoned or invalidated by their parents, by their guardians. So maybe sex was one of the ways that they got attention. This sex or sex appeal may have been one of the ways in which they may have gotten attention. So they're trying to heal the genesis of their issue. It's right here, right? Embrace healing. And if we are talking a lot about healing the sacral chakra, sexual potential, sexual abuse or abuse of the sacral chakra, I find it, fitting that there's a heavier woman here, because spiritually, additional weight is often connected to some sort of abuse, whether it is domestic violence or sexual abuse, because people, after they've been through an experience like that and they don't get professional help, subconsciously they try to make themselves what they perceive as unattractive in order to not draw attention to themselves again. So they're embracing healing here. And then we have let go of what could have been, and look, we have somebody's childhood. Okay, so it looks like your person did not have the most appropriate childhood in which a child could thrive and become, a balanced, productive human being. So they have to do that inner child work now. Okay. So this is a sad reading. Okay, what's happening in their life that might also be influencing how they're feeling. What's happening in their life? We have gaslighted. Okay, so they may have gaslighted you, but it looks like there's somebody in their life that is gaslighting them. Certainly they could be gaslighting themselves. We did see the self-sabotage card. Okay, let's see what's going on. What's happening in their life that's amplifying the feelings that they have for you? We have ascension. Okay, so there's definitely spiritual growth, a spiritual activation that's taking place here. And when they think about spirituality and these more, the higher level topics, okay, the high science, they think about you because maybe you might be the only person that they're connected to that may have some sort of spiritual ideology or might be leaning in that direction. So they think about you. What else? What's happening in their life? We have here catfish. Okay, so somebody in their life may have manipulated them. They may have put up, this facade that they were one person, and then eventually, they were exposed. So they could be heartbroken right now. Now, remember, they went back to an ex. And remember, this ex, for some of you, they went back to an ex. This ex may have said, well, this time we're going to do things differently. I'll be different, blah, 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 blah. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So they felt like, they were led on and then disappointed. And maybe that's what they might have been doing to other people. So karma, she may take her time, but she gets there, She does. We have here what's happening in their life. We have secret admire, and it says here hidden affection. Okay, so it looks like this person has a lot of, or they have and they had a lot of feelings for you that they may have pushed down or suppressed, and they may have used other people in order to help them forget about you. But now that everything in their life is kind of falling apart, including their intimate relationships, they're going back to square one, and square one is you. Square one is you. So all these feelings that they had locked away, they're finding themselves out. We have here what's happening in their life. They're setting boundaries with the people in their life. Okay. Maybe for some of them, it could be that ex. It could be family members. Okay. So they're really trying to honor themselves, protect themselves, and just love themselves just a little bit more. Okay. They're also saying enough is enough. Maybe because this person was so desperate for validation, because we know that because of, what they were doing in the past. Maybe they were so desperate for validation that, they were a people pleaser. No more. No more. They're saying enough is enough. This is where the line is drawn. Okay. Let's get messages from their 3D self, and then we're going to get messages from a message from their spirit guide. What does their 3D self want you to know at this time? And we have twin flame. They think that you are their twin flame. They think that you are their soulmate. They think that your connection is destined. Oh, good God, what's that? We have here retreat. Time alone or in nature will help you recharge. So this is what your person is doing. And it's right here on the ascension card. Right, so they're really focusing on healthcare and taking care of themselves. For the first time, and part of that is to dive deep into their healing. But they've not forgotten about you, right? They think this is a destined relationship. They think that you are their destiny, but they know that they have to have a healthy relationship with themselves before they even think about you. We have put away the computer, right? So for some of them, they may have been addicted to video games, or just kind of scrolling and binge watching. So they're not doing that anymore. They're getting out there in nature and just recalibrating. Yeah, told you, focusing on self-care. Focusing on self-care, right? Because you have to take care of yourself to have the nervous energy and the bandwidth for a relationship. So that's what they're doing. Let's get a message from their spirit guide. What does their spirit guide want you to know? That other interpretation of that drama queen card that came out on them feeling empowered, they may have chosen a relationship with someone who liked to create a lot of drama, because maybe they felt more competent to handle that sort of energy, right? They're accustomed to that, right? All the drama and the bacchanal going on, and maybe they're not used to heartfelt communication, which they would have needed to be in a relationship with you. They feel more competent in toxic situations like this. So that can be an interpretation as well. What is their guide, their spirit guide want you to know? We have here bravado, right? Now your person spent a lot of time protecting their territory, protecting themselves from you, but spirit's letting you know that it's all because they were scared. It's because they were scared. All right, what does the spirit guide want you to know? We have boredom. Okay. Right now it feels like when it comes to a person's love relationships, they are bored, but that boredom is now a catalyst that's teaching them something about themselves and something about how empty they may feel inside. Because anytime you're bored in a relationship, it doesn't have anything to do with the other person. It's about you not feeling fulfilled. So this boredom, your person had to go into the situation. This boredom is teaching your person the areas in their life where they are incomplete, where they're not satisfied with what's happening. Okay. And that's what really pushing your person to make the moves that they are making right now. Now, based on what we're seeing here, yeah, so they needed that solitude, right? You are a distraction. Based on what we're seeing here, what can we expect will be this person's next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading? And we have here Wheel of Fortune, right? So something big ends in your person's life. Let's see what's going on. We have Ace of Wands, and that's an action card. We have Queen of Cups, so we see them taking action towards you. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and that's a karmic energy. And we have the Queen of Wands, so we see them waffling back and forth here. Okay, they want to take action towards you. They see you as a Queen of Wands, who is the most attractive queen, the most spiritual queen, the go-getter. And they see you also as the Queen of Cups, very emotionally nurturing and loving. But this person, you know what's keeping them back? They don't think that there's anything material that they have to give. This is what's keeping a person back. We see them wanting to take the action here. This person's very attracted to you. But if it goes back to the material, it started with the material and it goes back to the material yet again. So, they are basically standing in their own way. What's Spirit's advice for you? Let's get the advice card now. And we have here magic prayer. Okay. Let's pull a card on that. Spirit magic prayer. Okay. So it looks like you've been trying to manifest something. Okay. Maybe it could even be maybe it could even be this relationship. Who knows? And you find yourself just a little bit stuck. But Spirit is saying this stuckness is trying to teach you something. And we have here the Page of Wands. You've been trying to create a fresh start. But Spirit is also saying that you too are codependent. You too are codependent. You too are holding on to some sort of toxic tie as well. You keep giving to somebody that's not giving anything back to you. Could be this person. Could be family members. So Spirit saying you also need, proper boundaries as well. Okay, so your person's healing. They're doing the work. Spirit is reminding you that you also have work to do. Okay? Alright, my love, so that was your reading. Can I ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel and make sure that your notification bell is on and it has all notifications. I was looking at my analytics from the last video and they were saying that only 6.5 of you percent have your notification bell on and all notifications on. So just check it for me and let me know if it was on and now it's basically not on, because then I can make a complaint. Okay? All right, my loves. Take care. Bye. Hey, powerful. If you chose this flower, this is going to be your reading. So as I said, this is the advice card. So we're going to get that card last. Okay. All right. So let's get into this. Today we are asking, what does your person feel when they see you? And by see, could be see you in person, see you on social media, see you in their dreams, think about you, seeing you in their mind, I guess. Okay. What do they feel when they see you? So we're going to begin by establishing a framework for the reading. And we're going to look at their energy generally, which is their default setting, default mode. And then we're going to look at the energy that is specific to you, so that you'll know this is how they feel about you and not just, how they feel generally. We have here Earth Mother. So we are already getting an indication. Why am I saying invitation? Bloody hell. And some of you guys might receive an invitation. You might be we're getting an indication of how they see about you. They see you as the Empress. You are nurturing. You are the one that calms the savage beast. Your music calms the savage beast. For some of you guys, you might be soft. Soft and cuddly. Okay. Certainly. But this is, the energy of Mother Earth. Very grounding, reliable, dependable, steadfast. Okay. All right. Let's see the energy generally and then the energy specific to you. So generally, let's get this one. Okay. We have the betrayer. Ooh, Lord. Maybe that's who they feel they are right now. Okay. The person that has betrayed others, the person who has betrayed themselves. Okay. Now, it could be that they have been betrayed. Okay. So they could be feeling betrayed, but I think this is who they think they are. They are judging themselves right now. They're judging themselves pretty harshly. And I think that as they look at their life, they can see that they've not operated at their best. They've not operated at optimum. Okay. They've not operated at optimum. Um, and they did things that they are now very afraid of. Now, we see this person they have a string of hearts in their hands. So maybe they're a heartbreaker. That's who they were. I don't want to think that's who they are now. And we're gonna clarify. But it looks like they were a heartbreaker. They look back and they see that now. They're admitting this to themselves. How they see you. How do they see you? As the miser, stingy. Yeah, but they would think that because now you might be stingy with your energy. You realize what they're about. Heartbreaker. So you're not going to give them your heart to break. Right? You are protecting your heart. You're precious with everything that you got. You're older. You're wiser. What's the name of that song? Too experienced to be taken for a ride. Yeah, you're too experienced to be taken for a ride. You already psych out what this person is about, and maybe they already had, one opportunity to betray you, and they did, and you're not giving them another. You're not giving them another. You're not insane. You're not going to do the same thing twice and expect a different result. So, they might think you're stingy, but it's always the ones that want to use you that think that. So they think that you are not giving them the time of bloody day, and maybe they don't deserve it. Let's get some clarification card. Spirit, clarify on that betrayer card. We have here a pig, and this is the energy of the glutton. This is the energy of extremes. And we see a woman pole dancing, so that suggests to me maybe they had some sort of, sex addiction, or they may have been drowning themselves um, um, in lust, or some other extreme behavior related to sexuality. So they may have even had other partners. They didn't tell you anything. Okay, so maybe that's why they feel like the betrayer. For others of them, we have a substance abuse here. For others of them, they might have been drowning themselves in food, or binge watching TV, whatever it is. Okay, but they weren't giving their time, effort, and energy to you, right? So, and you realize that. So, you pull back. Now they find that you're stingy, right? They think you're selfish, but that's always the people who want to profit off of your energy. So, they did the most. This is someone doing the most. And the camera just cut off. Maybe they just cut you off. Maybe they just ghosted you. Okay, after they had their fill, right? They just ghosted you, right? So they are the betrayer. They betrayed you, and you are not going to give them a second opportunity to do so. Absolutely not. We have here the invalid. Maybe your last run-in with this person, maybe they crushed you. Maybe they crushed you. They hurt you real bad. You might have even been sick. Okay, but now you're fully recovered. This is the Pearl Artemis, and this is the young boy. You're in your full strength again. You're enjoying life. You're feeling free, and they're coming back to see how much more you can give to them. And you are saying, "F off." That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. You are guarding your energy with your life, right? So that's how they are seeing you. Let's see how they feel. How do they feel when they see you? And they're seeing you in your full strength, in all your glory, looking good, feeling good, living your life. Putting yourself out there. How do they feel? We have here the people pleaser. Okay, let's see why is that underneath the deck there? Okay, let's see. How do they feel? I'm going to clarify these cards. Feeling powerless. Yeah, they have no control over you right now. Right? You divorced yourself from them. And maybe you did go through a divorce. Maybe this, for some of you guys, this is an ex. Right? So they have no control over you right now. What else do they feel? Feeling insecure. Maybe they've always been insecure. I mean, somebody doing the most like that, it smacks of insecurities. It smacks of trying to, drown your insecurities into all sorts of things. Okay? How do they feel? Yeah. They've always been trying to numb out. We saw that. Didn't want to face their feelings, didn't want to face their feelings. And even now, they don't want to face their feelings for you. They have to make you the villain. We have here purposeless, feeling lost. And I think they've always felt lost. This kind of energy is someone, they don't have any purpose, they have no direction. And once you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. Any road will take you there. They're curious about you. They want to know what's going on in your life because it feels like they don't have access. They don't have access. Okay? Envious of you. Yeah, because you're shining. You're shining bright. You're shining bright. And anyone would want you. They see you moving on with your life and doing very well. And they feel, because they don't have any power over you now, right? They can't hold you back, and they're feeling all the hope just gradually disappearing. Meanwhile, the more independent you feel, the more codependent they feel, and the more attached they feel to you. So you have broken the attachment that you have for them, and now they are trying to hold on to you even tighter than before. Now let's clarify these cards and see what we get. Let's see why they feel powerless. But I think, I got the right message. Underneath the deck, we have real receipts. So it could be that you had cause to confront this person, right? And they couldn't deny what you were saying because you had your proof. So I think for a lot of you, this person did betray you, and you did confront them. And for some of them, they didn't even respond. They ghosted you, like if they were the wronged one. All right, why do they feel powerless here? We have backstab. Yeah, because they know that they backstabbed you. And they know that's why you are being very cautious and very so-called stingy with your money. You're keeping your energy to yourself. Because the moment you gave them access, the moment you trusted them, they stabbed you in the back. They betrayed you. They betrayed you. Okay? Now, this person, what they really want, they want a do-over. They want you guys to start afresh. They want to start with a clean slate here. But they are really not sure how you are going to respond to them. Right? They're not sure how you feel. Okay? They've been trying to numb out, trying to forget you, but what they really want to do is to talk to you. To talk to you. I think, remember that Earth Mother energy from underneath the deck? Your energy was very grounding to this person. Okay? And you living your purpose was an inspiration to your person. So as long as they were connected to you, this person felt alive. This person felt like, I know what I'm doing. I think I know what I want to do. They were inspired by you. But now you've cut off their supply. You've cut off their supply. And the more they look around, is the more fake and plastic they realize their life really is. There's no purpose. They get up, go to work, come back home, rinse and repeat. Now they are curious, okay? We have them here in villain vise. Do you still want to see them after everything that unfolded? Can you forgive them? Are you able to be in a relationship with them and not think about vengeance, okay? Not thinking of getting your lick back. That's what they want to know right now, okay? They are envious, and they have been doing everything in order to level up to where you are. They think that you are a star. And they've been concentrated every time, very hard to get to your place of stardom, to get some of that star power that you're holding so that they can feel more worthy of you, but have just not been able to catch up. It says here, they're addicted to attention. So we're looking at a little attention hoe right now, and they don't care where that attention comes from. So this is a childhood wound of neglect that we are tapping into, right? Nobody affirmed this person. Nobody reassured this person. Nobody was instrumental in building this person's sense of self and worth and self-esteem. So they've always looked for that outside of themselves. And as I told you, they don't care where it comes from, but now they want that attention from you. They're feeling hopeless. We have here throwing shade. Okay. Maybe you said some very cutting remarks when you confronted this person or when you disconnected from this person. And these remarks are still playing over and over in your person's head. They know that you're angry with them, right? They know that you are resentful. You're still interested because they're watching this, right? But they know deep down inside they did you dirty and they deserve your ire at this time. And the more you pull away, the more attached they feel. So wedding bells ringing for them, all kind of thing. Okay, they're thinking about getting engaged, thinking about being with you, what life would be like, blah, blah, blah. They are already rehearsing the wedding day in their head. And it feels like you are not giving this person the time of day, even though you may want to. You remember how they may have betrayed you. Now, let's see what's happening in your person's inner world or inside that might be driving some of these feelings. What is this? Releasing soul burdens. They want to clear the air between you guys. Get things off of their chest. What do we have here? Set healthy boundaries. And maybe that's what you had to do with this person. Let's see what's going on. What's happening within them right now? What's underneath the deck, it comes out. So it's meant to be out. Okay? Releasing soul burden. As I told you, they are being, pushed to get a lot of things off of their chest. And remember, we were tapping into a neglect wound. So even that they have to come to terms with. And it looks like they've connected their behavior to whatever happened here. And it looks like they were neglected by their parents, neglected by their guardians. And they've always felt unloved. So they've been searching for that love in the wrong places with all kind of different people. Maybe creating like surrogate families to get the love and affection that they did not get when they were children. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Healing emotional trauma. Recognizing that there's nothing about them that's broken. So they don't have to perform for others. They don't need anybody else's approval. Nothing is wrong with them, right? They don't need to have, multiple romantic interests to feel good, right? They don't have to be the love collector, right? They are releasing the root cause of their pain, and the root cause of their pain is their family tree. Look at this tree. Does this tree look like it is thriving to you? So they're also realizing is that it wasn't their fault. Nothing is wrong with them. I think this person's been carrying around a lot of pain. Because when you're a child and you're being neglected, the message that you tell yourself is, I am unlovable. I am unworthy. And if my own parents can't love me, who could love me? Who can love me? But they're realizing it had nothing to do with them. Their family's fucked up. Their family is fucked up. And that might be something painful to admit and to see, but it's also freeing as well. Because you realize it had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with you. Took it personal. But it had nothing to do with you. Your family's fucked up. What else is happening inside? Let me get this one. We have restore the broken self. Okay? Realizing that they've never been broken, they've never been incomplete. They don't need anybody else to complete them. They don't need anybody else to come and heal them. It's an inside job. Now, let's look at what's happening in your person's life that might be driving some of these energies. What's happening in your person's life that might be driving some of these energies? And then we're going to get messages from their 3D self, messages from their spirit guide. What does their spirit guide want you to know? And then we're going to look at their next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. Underneath the deck, we have the luxury life. Okay. But I think this is you. Look at you. You're on a cruise. Right? If you like pina colada, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're living life. So they're seeing you happy and unbothered. And this is triggering this person. What we have here, what's happening? What's happening in their life? We have photoshopped. We have faked perfection, artificial beauty. Okay, so I told you, they're realizing their life is plastic. They've been putting on a brave face. They've been putting on a facade. This could also go for a partner that they might be with as well. They're finally realizing the true character and nature of this partner. Okay? This partner too has been living behind this facade, but the mask is off, and they're realizing that this person, this is not who they signed up to be with. They also realize that they've been love bombed. So the betrayer, it looks like, has been betrayed. That's what I'm getting. So this person may have led you on, played with your feelings, okay? Because they needed that attention from everyone. They needed that in order to feel, human. But now it looks like somebody did it to them. Use, abuse, and discarded them. Right? Look at it here again. Right? Sugar-coated. Soft and sweet on the outside, but look, the barb. So it looks like whilst they were betraying other people, somebody betrayed them. Somebody hoodwinked them. Somebody manipulated them. So they finally got a glimpse of what it's like to walk in your shoes. And surprise, surprise, they didn't like it. So now they're at a crossroads. Do they go back to their old self and their old behavior, or do they change their ways? This is where they're at right now. So that's what's causing all these feelings. That's what's bringing all these feelings for you rushing back, because they finally was able to walk a day in your shoes and reveal to them how much they hurt you. I don't think they had a real sense of how it affected you before. Some people can't have empathy unless they experience it themselves. They just don't have that emotional maturity. So they had to go through that themselves in order to fully understand. What does their 3D self want you to know? We have patience. Everything will unfold in divine timing. Okay, let's get a card. We have protected. You are safe and divinely protected. There's a message coming through from their 3D self, and it is how they see you. They do see you as protected because they realize that Spirit protected you from them and the full brunt of the fallout. Okay, they're now seeing you as a divine being protected by the universe, and they feel like they got their karma when this person betrayed them. Right? We have integrity. Right? So this is what they're finally learning. They're finally learning not to mess with you because you are protected by Spirit. They're finally learning that they have to operate with integrity, or else what goes around will come back around. And then we also have here interference. So they're letting you know that an external party is intruding on this relationship. So there could definitely be another romantic interest, or it could be, where's that broken tree? It could be family members or family programming, family trauma that might be interfering with this connection. Let's get another card. We have here warning. Don't dismiss the red flags here. And then we also have second chance. So Spirit is letting you know that what their 3D self is letting you know that they do want a second chance with you. But, they're also trying to protect you for themselves too, because this person has not completely changed. Right? Change doesn't happen overnight. It happens by degrees. So they've begun this journey, but certainly they've not reached a destination. Okay? So Spirit is letting you know that. They are letting you know that. All right. Let's get a message from their spirit guide. What does their spirit guide want you to know? So we see what their 3D self wants. Their 3D self wants a second chance. One more chance. One more chance. But what does their spirit guide have to say about all of that? We have truth, the higher self. Okay, let's see. What does their spirit guide have to say about all of that? We have here business, and we have Venus. Okay, so your person, they are confirming that your person wants to put in the work in this relationship. Maybe they didn't in the past, and maybe they were just focusing on one aspect of Venus, which was the sex. But Venus is also about love, right? So they do want to invest in this connection. They do love you, but I'm going back to the warning here. This person, they got a little bit more baking to do. They're not ready yet, okay? They're still standing at that crossroads. So they've not decided fully who they want to be. So just be very careful when this person reapproaches you, because they will. They will. All right, so let's see. What's going to be the next actions towards you? Within 1 month of you watching this reading, what's going to be the next actions towards you? We have the 7 of Cups in reverse, and that talks about making a choice. The next actions towards you. We have 8 of Pentacles in reverse. No effort. We have 6 of Pentacles in reverse. No longer want to breadcrumb you. We have Queen of Cups in reverse, karmic energy, and then we have the 9 of Wands. Okay, so what am I getting? They are going to do battle with whoever's a third party or karmic energy that is connected to your relationship. Now, I feel for some of you guys, you might not hear from this person in this pile. And that's because they're going toe-to-toe with a karmic energy in their life. So they're not ready to put in the effort. They already know what they want to do. They don't want to lead you on, and they don't want to breadcrumb you. They know that there are loose ties that they have to wrap up before they come forward with a proper offer, or an offer that's worthy of who you are. So it looks like they're going, for some of them, it might be a court case that they might have to have with this other person. Or as I said, it could be family members, okay? But they're gonna do what they need to do before they reapproach you, okay? They want to come correct. They want to show you that they are serious, okay? All right, let's see what's the advice card for you. And we have here listening in reverse. Now, if this person does reach out, Spirit is saying, now it's time to communicate your needs and how you see this whole relationship playing out, and the kind of effort that you require in a relationship, right? You've listened to this person enough. For some of you guys in the past, you basically were prioritizing this person's needs above your own. Spirit saying now it's time for communication of your needs. Okay, you matter, right? So they want to remind you of that. All right, guys, so that was your reading. I hope that was helpful. Please, can you subscribe to the channel as an energy exchange and make sure that notifications are on and you're pressing all notifications, right? According to my analytics, only 6.5 of you guys have that turned on. And if it was turned on before and it's now turned off, could you let me know in the comments? Because then I can lodge a complaint with YouTube, okay? All right, take care. Bye.